saying to yourself, damn, what is going on here?
This is bad. This is very bad.
Caitlin Clark is clearly a catalyst for a business that was, and let's be honest, Caitlin to some degree financially saved the WNBA. It was hemorrhaging money for years.
It's actually to drive revenue so we can give the players extra income opportunities. I had to actually educate the players. They're like, good, 75 million divided by 144, pay us.
With empty seats and TV ratings plummeting, a lot of people are wondering what the WNBA will do to ensure their success continues in 2025. And the only true answer is, keep Caitlin Clark on the court.
Because at the end of the day, with her WNBA rookie season complete, let's see it. Most points by a point guard in a season in WNBA history. Most double-doubles by a rookie guard in WNBA history. Most points by a rookie in WNBA history. Most assists by a rookie in the history of the WNBA.
This is why the conversations being had behind closed doors right now are beginning to set up for a 2025 finals win by Clark and the Indiana Fever. This is set up, of course, by the people who will benefit the most from this, the WNBA. And while this may sound far-fetched, wait until you see the numbers we will show you to prove it. It's billions.
The NBA negotiated the WNBA's media deal alongside its own massive media rights agreement with Disney, NBC, and Amazon, and each of those companies will have their own WNBA packages. However, NBA Commissioner Adam Silver confirmed on Tuesday that the media deals were not finalized just yet.
You got to build, you have to scale, and ultimately expansion had always been on my list. But we didn't want to rush into it because we wanted new owners, like new ownership groups. Anyone who knows sports here knows, like, it's a slog to be a sports owner.
Caitlin Clark is the reason why a lot of great things is going to happen for the WNBA.
When Caitlin Clark burst onto the WNBA scene, she didn't just make headlines, she transformed the entire landscape of the league.
Clark trying to get around Mabry. Clark to the rim, reverses it home through the contact.
Known for her jaw-dropping range, fearless demeanor, and the swagger of a seasoned veteran, Clark brought something that had been missing from the WNBA. A transcendent player who could attract fans by the thousands.
She struggled with physical defense she's faced at the professional level and voiced frustration with the league's officiating, recently telling reporters, quote, "I feel like I'm getting hammered and everybody is physical with me, and opponents get away with things that other people don't get away with." That's what Caitlin Clark said.
What I am upset about, it's like, hey man, your meal ticket is under constant attack. There's been dirty plays all season.
Her deep three-point shots from the logo and her precision in playmaking made her an instant sensation.
Can discourage Alyssa Thomas from making some of her great passes.
No one picks up Clark, who cans the three.
Fans who had never watched a WNBA game before were suddenly glued to their screens, while longtime supporters of the league couldn't stop talking about her.
McCowan, who couldn't finish, behind the back again for Clark, give her another assist and a chance for a three-point play for Smith.
But Clark's impact wasn't just about her highlight reel moments. It was about what she meant for the WNBA as a whole.
Tremendous move, and we are tied right now. Clark to Samuelson, and there is, believe it or not, folks, the biggest lead.
Her arrival in the league came at a crucial time. For years, the WNBA had struggled to capture the same widespread attention as men's leagues, despite having some of the best athletes in the world. The league was growing, but slowly. With Clark, however, the WNBA finally had a star who could draw in not just dedicated fans, but casual sports viewers too. The question now is, with the kind of influence Caitlin Clark has, would the league take steps to ensure her success, maybe even set her up for a finals win? From the moment Caitlin Clark was drafted by the Indiana Fever, her impact was nothing short of revolutionary. In 2023, the Fever ranked near the bottom in attendance, with an average of 4,200 fans per game. But when Clark hit the court in 2024, those numbers skyrocketed. Fever home games went from last in the league to first, seeing a massive 4x increase in attendance, with an average of 17,000 fans per game. For certain high-profile games, particularly against top teams or fellow star players like Breanna Stewart or Aja Wilson. The sellouts were instantaneous.
Asia Wilson keeps the possession alive for Vegas. Wilson gets denied by Stewart.
Shot here in these finals. What about this one? Just a beautiful contest, all ball from the 7'1" wingspan.
But it wasn't just the Fever's attendance that saw a meteoric rise. The WNBA ticket sales overall shot up 93% in 2024, and teams began to need to relocate their games against the Fever just to accommodate this earth-shattering rise in interest due to Caitlin being in the league. But attendance was just the tip of the iceberg. The real story was in the TV ratings.
The Indiana Fever select Caitlin Clark, University of Iowa.
Caitlin Clark's debut season coincided with a surge in national interest in the WNBA as a whole.
2 national championships, 4 Big Ten championships. Yeah, there's my teammates. They're pretty awesome. And I think just a belief in myself, and my parents always instilled confidence in me from a young age when I was a young girl, and I think that's something a lot of young girls can learn to have, and I think people supporting them certainly helps. So, yeah, I think the biggest thing is the confidence, but I told my mom before this is like, you know, I earned it, and that's why I'm so proud of it.
And her very first game in the WNBA was the most watched game in 23 years, drawing over 2.2 million eyeballs. According to Nielsen, WNBA games broadcast on ESPN saw a 170% increase in viewership compared to the previous season, and the games broadcasted on other networks saw a 133% increase in 2024 as well. These type of numbers led to a massive TV deal inked this season as well, gaining the WNBA an additional $2.2 billion in media revenue, all because of Clark's presence in the league. But that was just the beginning.
And one thing that she said that really stuck out to me was about Christy Size actually having major control over this Fever locker room.
Caitlin Clark for the 2 games that she was in the postseason. Outkick has the story available right now. You can go to outkick.com. Caitlin Clark's final WNBA playoff game, 2.5 million viewers.
Appreciate you. They're ready to ride. I don't. I think she's going to be even better. And I think that what she has done for women's basketball, especially in this country, has been phenomenal. There is no woman, no matter how great you were as a player, Cheryl Swoops.
As the Fever made their way into the playoffs, the Caitlin Clark effect only intensified. Fever playoff games were watched by an average of 2.5 million viewers per game. But then, something changed.
Football.
And not tell people, hey, if you're just in this for Caitlin Clark, then get out. No, that is not the way you market your league.
So
it's not the way you grow.
When Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever were eliminated early from the playoffs, the WNBA felt the shockwaves almost immediately. Attendance at subsequent playoff games, without Clark on the court, plummeted.
Not following after Caitlin Clark's been eliminated, and they're not into the league because they're conditioned by the league and the WNBA PA to...
Games that should have been marquee matchups between elite teams were suddenly being played in front of empty seats. And it wasn't just attendance that suffered. TV ratings for the playoffs took a nosedive. Viewership dropped by over 60%, with numbers falling from 2.52 million during Clark's playoff games to just 929,000 for games that followed.
It was Caitlin Clark. It was massive numbers. When it wasn't, it was even less on average than the previous playoff series.
This wasn't just a small dip. It was a major drop-off in engagement, and it raised a lot of eyebrows. How could the league sustain its momentum when its biggest star was no longer in the mix? Clark's importance to the WNBA became more apparent with every passing game. Even though the league boasts a deep talent pool with stars like Aja Wilson, Breanna Stewart, and Sabrina Ionescu, it became increasingly clear that Caitlin Clark had transcended the game.
Now, one thing we've seen, and Holly Rowe talked to the players about this, last year they shot a lot of 4-pointers as Sabrina knocks that one down for a 4-pointer.
The WNBA was becoming more dependent on her to keep fans engaged. Every league promotion seemed to center around Clark. Her highlights were shared on social media more than any other player. and networks constantly broadcast her games in primetime slots.
I was once that little Iowa girl who was inspired to dream big, real big. And that dream was more than women's basketball. If I can sign with Gatorade, you can too.
Everything to be proud of. I'm super proud. There's so much more we need to do. We're Caitlin Clark. This is just the beginning.
It's a natural move for leagues to market their biggest stars. Just look at the NBA with LeBron James or Michael Jordan before him. But what happens when a league becomes too reliant on one player? That's the question facing the WNBA right now. While players like Aja Wilson and Breanna Stewart are incredible talents, they haven't captured the casual sports fan's imagination in the way that Caitlin Clark has. And with her early exit, the league found itself scrambling.
Tom, about the offensive rebounding. We gave up one offensive rebound in the whole second half. That was huge for us. They responded.
As the WNBA grappled with declining ratings and lower attendance after Clark's elimination, a conspiracy theory began to take shape.
If Caitlin Clark is the quote-unquote savior, if she's the golden girl,
league versus Caitlin Clark, and that is just absolutely false. It is unfair to the women that have been
staying with the WNBA playoffs. Let's stay here. Let's just say the ratings aren't the same with Caitlin Clark in the Indies.
Could the league, desperate to maintain the momentum and interest generated by Caitlin Clark, orchestrate a scenario where she reaches the finals next season? Could league officials or even referees subtly influence outcomes to ensure that Clark's team, the Indiana Fever, or wherever she may end up, has an easier path to a championship? Stephen A. Smith was one of the first to voice concerns, saying, "You've got to wonder if the WNBA can really afford to lose Clark early again next year. Don't be shocked if there are some questionable calls or advantageous matchups that push her toward the finals." Skip Bayless echoed these thoughts, claiming, "The league knows Clark is their golden ticket. Without her, they're going to struggle. So why wouldn't they do everything in their power to keep her in the spotlight?" These aren't just wild accusations. Sports leagues around the world have faced accusations of favoritism before. The NBA has been accused of giving preferential treatment to stars like LeBron James or teams with bigger markets. The NFL, too, has been accused of favoring marquee franchises in big games to drive ratings. Could the WNBA, facing a financial crunch and a desperate need for star power, be tempted to influence the outcome of games to ensure that Caitlin Clark reaches the finals? If the WNBA were to manipulate outcomes to favor Caitlin Clark, it would be playing a dangerous game. Fans may love star power, but they also crave fairness and integrity in sports. If even a hint of manipulation were to leak out, it could irreparably damage the league's credibility. The WNBA has spent years cultivating a loyal fan base, many of whom have supported the league through its struggles for greater visibility and respect. Tampering with the integrity of the game would be seen as a betrayal of that trust. Once fans begin to suspect that outcomes are being engineered, it's hard to win them back. The WNBA's core fan base would likely feel alienated, and the league's reputation would take a massive hit. Moreover, relying solely on Caitlin Clark to carry the league's future could overshadow the other incredible players who make the WNBA great. Aja Wilson, Breanna Stewart, and countless others are top-tier athletes deserving of attention and respect. If the league is perceived as catering only to Clark, it could create Clark, calling her a transformative figure in the league. But she's also emphasized that the WNBA is home to many stars. "We're proud of what Caitlin Clark has done in her rookie season," Engelbert said in a recent interview. But the WNBA is bigger than any one player. Whether or not that's true remains to be seen.
Well, let me clarify first, because it's proxy season, right? No CEO do you just put the base pay in there. You put their bonus, you put their stock options, you put everything. Caitlin has the ability to make up to $500,000 just in WNBA wages this year. So of course they're just looking at a base which is collectively bargained. And actually it's low because she's the #1 pick. She'll make a little more than that. But you got to build, you have to scale, and ultimately expansion had always been on my list. But we didn't want to rush into it because we wanted new owners, like new ownership groups. Anyone who knows sports here knows, like, it's a slog to be a sports owner. It's actually to drive revenue so we can give the players extra income opportunities. I had to educate the players. They're like, good, 75 million divided by 144, pay us.
As Caitlin Clark prepares for her sophomore season in the league, all eyes will be on the Indiana Fever and on the WNBA. Will Clark continue to dominate and lead her team to new heights? Or will the league face the same challenges if she's eliminated early again? One thing is certain, Caitlin Clark's success is crucial to the WNBA's growth, and how the league handles that pressure will define its future. So what do you think? Is the WNBA setting up Caitlin Clark for a finals win to save the league? Or will the game play out naturally, allowing her to earn that championship on her own merit? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more deep dives into the world of sports.